Okay guys, so if you have been following along, I have made a video discussing this Grogu patch or square, and that I'm going to be following through with a back to create a tote bag with this as the main front. So in my previous take, I showed how I created the pattern that I would like to do for the back of this. So if you are tuning in, we are going to be making the back of that pattern, okay? Like I said, I will have this available on Etsy if you guys want the pattern. And this video will be a great way to follow along if you need some help, if you want to gather some tips and techniques on how to create this tote bag. Okay, so stay tuned while I gather my supplies and we can get started. Okay, so I gather up our supplies that we will be needing. So I'm using a Susan Bates ergonomic hook with F in the size F, US F, or 3.75 millimeter. So this is my hook of choice. This is going to give me that perfect 12 by 12 inch square using my gauge. Of course, scissors, these are going to be your best friend, because if you're going to be using my method, we're going to be doing a lot of cutting, okay? Of course, clothespins or whatever you're going to be using for your bobbins, because we're going to have a couple of these already made up. So this is just a little bit of white that I had left over from Grogu's eye. And then, of course, the colors, okay? So we have the pink. We have the lace for his collar. You have, of course, black. You have the green that represents his skin tone. And we have the cafe latte for his coat. Okay, so I'm gonna clear this, make up our bobbins, and we're ready to get started, y'all. Okay, so I just sent it right here and made the bobbins, at least to get me started. I do keep a working skein, so especially for parts I don't have to keep cutting. So in that case, it's going to be a black, the black color that's going to be the working skein. So you'll see what that means as I get going. But the prep for the most part is done. So now we are ready to dive in. Okay, so I have my working skein right here in the black. So what we're going to do is chain 63, okay, because we're going to, the patterns is 62, but we need that extra stitch at the end to create our first double crochet. Okay, so work up 63. Okay, so once you have your 63 chains, we are going to double crochet in the third chain from the hook. Okay, I'm assuming that you guys already know what that means or understand how to do it. If not, there are videos to demonstrate what how to double crochet. Okay, but for what we're going to do right now is take our double crochet or take our hook and create a double crochet. Okay, so we go into the third hook, so I just count down um, the stitch or the chain that's on the hook, okay, from the hook. So 1, 2, and then I yarn over and work a double crochet in that third chain, okay. And that's it. That's all we're doing, guys. So we're going to take this method and work all the way down to the end. So in each chain, work a double crochet down to the end, and you should have 62 chains in total. Okay, so once you have crocheted your double crochet across each chain, you should have a total of 62. And you would get 62 if you have crocheted 63 or made 63 chains and then double crochet in the third chain from the hook and carried it down. Okay, if you find yourself short a stitch, just take and add another stitch at the end. And if you find yourself with too many stitches, just do a double crochet decrease. Again, if you don't know what that is, I'm sure they have videos already on YouTube on how to figure that out. Okay, so we are actually going to move into the official pattern. So if you guys want to follow along with me with this pattern, just stay tuned. If you would prefer to just already download your own pattern because you don't need a demonstration, go on over to Etsy, and I will have that link available for you in the description box if you would like to purchase your own pattern and make it yourself. But we'll just keep trudging forward, okay? So if you have the pattern, after we made the initial row, this is actually row 1, okay? So in your pattern, we are going to move to row 2. So with my method of making Afghans, I choose a right side and a wrong side, okay? So since I'm using numbers to count my rows, that means that the odd number would be my right side, okay? Even numbers would be the wrong side. So the wrong side will have the yarn ends that we will weave in later on, okay? So it will make sense as we go what I mean by right side and wrong side, but it's usually row 1 is the side that's going to show the actual oh god, what am I looking for? The actual side. Okay, so let's keep rolling. So in the pattern, we have to chain up 3 because that's how I create my double crochet, and I'm going to turn my work. And the pattern states that we need 2 black for our border, so we already have 1 double crochet ready. This is 3 chain up, and then in the next space we're going to work another double crochet. Okay, so when you yarn over, you're going to work through the hole, and you're going to pull up your loop, and then you're going to pull through 2 loops, and you should be left with 2 more loops on your crochet hook. Okay, leave that as is because we're going to jump into a color change. Okay, so how I do my color change is I take my working yarn and I bring that to the front. I hope that is making sense, guys. So I just bring my working yarn to the front and just drop it, okay? And now I'm going to pick up the color that I need, which is the green. Okay, we already have it ready and prepared. So how I do my color change is I take the loose end and I yarn over my crochet hook, right? And then this color is going to go through the two loops that's on your crochet hook, and it's going to finish the double crochet for you, right? And that is literally it, guys. It is not hard at all. Once you figure out like how to maneuver your finger and your strings, we're done. We're cooking with grease, okay? So what I just do, I just tighten my working yarn that I was using. I just tighten that up, you know, just by pulling it forward. And then I pick up my new color. And we are going to move into a double crochet. So we just yarn over that tail that we use. I just hold it and then I just yarn over. And I'm going to move the black out of the way because we are not using that anymore, okay? And now I'm just going to take my tail and work over that, okay? So we're going to make another double crochet. And we are going to keep going until it's time for a new color. So in the pattern, we work until we get to 14 stitches, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I just keep working over the tail. 7, if you don't get tangled up in there. 8, and it's always going to be a little cumbersome in the beginning trying to get your finger placement and stuff right, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to zip right through this, okay? Alright, so I don't know if you guys may know this about me, but definitely struggle with a little bit of ADD. So I have to keep recounting because I will honestly forget what number I'm on. I will completely zone out and just be like, oh wait, how many I have? So if you see me stopping to count, that's just my brain telling me, A, you wasn't counting, or your attention was elsewhere. You need to go back. I do find that what helps a lot is like stitch markers. But that in and of itself can be another thing that you will have to deal with. But if it helps you, use the tools that's available, okay? But anyway, so we're supposed to have 14 right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. So remember, when it's time to color change, we just work a double crochet, but we don't complete the double crochet, okay? And remember, we are on row 2, so we are on our even side. So that means that our leftover yarn ends stay in the front, okay? Stay on the even side. So now the color is changing to the lace. Now here it's going to get a little tricky because we have we're going to have a conglomeration of color changes here, okay? So one color block on the pattern represents one stitch, okay? So we're going to take our lace color and work over the greens. Work over the green because we're going to carry that green. See what I mean by how I've been a little cumbersome, but we got it, okay? So you're going to find your next stitch and work that color. Okay, but we're going to have to do another color change. So we're going to drop that one and we're going to pick up our cafe. Okay, and we're going to color switch that out. Okay, And we're going to work over the yarns because all of this is getting carried, remember? You don't have to work over your end pieces. You can leave those and we can weave in later, so it don't make it too bulky. And work into the next stitch. And we're going to change our color again with the pink. And again, finish up your double crochet, tighten up everything, and work your pink double crochet. Woo, hectic, ain't it? But we got this, we got this. Just gonna move these tails out of the way. Okay. And repeat. Find your hole and work your double crochet. Okay. So far we went from green, we went from black to green to the lace color, back to the brown or this cafe color, and now we at pink. So the pattern says to repeat. So we pick up our green again, tighten it up, work through the stitch, and carry all of the other colors along with you, okay? Find your next stitch, work your double crochet, drop that color, pick up the next color in the pattern, which is the lace. So you just find that, work through that, tighten it up, okay? Find your hole, drop that, go to your next color in the pattern, which is the cafe, tighten it, okay, and then the pink again, okay. See, once you get the hang of it, we just keep rolling, right? So now we're going to do it all one more time, okay? So we take our green, and this is the last time we're going to be using the green for that row, so we just drop it. We are done with that, okay? Now we're going to take the lace, locate your stitch, okay? We're done with the lace for this spot, okay? Next color is the cafe. Okay. Drop the lace, remember, and work the cafe, and then lastly the pink. Okay. And now we are all done with that color change, okay? So this is where we at so far, okay? So all of these ends right here, they stay on this side. This is going to be your wrong side, okay? So when you flip your work, it's only going to show the clean, neat part of the pattern, okay? And what I like to do is just collect my bobbins. Take the time to just untangle and go ahead and clip them because we are finished. Okay, so I just untangle. It's better to do it a bit at a time instead of waiting for it to pile up on you. Okay, so this is it. This is all that I do when it's time for color changes. I work my double crochet, but before I complete it, I yarn over with the next color change, and that's it. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna take the top so small. Like I said, it can be a little cumbersome, it can be a little hectic, but once we get going, we good. And so I just clip what I'm not using off to the side, so out of the way, and you don't have to worry about the tangles anymore because we already have established our bobbin spaces, okay? So I just clip those out of the way. And there you have it. So we went from black, green, the lace, the cafe, the pink, and then we just repeated that for however long the pattern tells us, okay? So now we are off to the next set in the pattern, okay? So it's going to be a strip for just the black for 12 stitches, okay? So we pick up our next color, which is the black, and same method. Okay, so now you just do this for 12 stitches. Okay, so we just finished the 12 stitches in black, and now the rest of the pattern is going to be the lace color, all the way until we get to the last 2 stitches in our row. So you're going to pick up your lace color. Since we are, if you're following along with the pattern, you'll see that we're actually done with the color changes here in this row. So we can take and cut our bobbin. Since we are done here, we can just snip the bobbin, okay, and recycle, right? So I just do what I said before, double crochet, but finish it out with the new color, and then we just work all the way to the end, leaving 2 black stitches, okay? Alright, so we should have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 in the lace color. Okay, so now we're going to go with the last 2 stitches on our row in black. Okay, so remember my method, I count my first 3 chains as a stitch. Okay, so it may not look like much, but there's actually 2 stitches here. Okay, so you just work in the top last stitch and then just locate a hole for that very end stitch. Don't worry guys, it's there. Just poke your hook through it and you'll find it, okay? And then you just finish up your row, okay? So this is where we at, guys. So like I said, we were done with the initial color swatches here. I just wanted to show you how I clip them away whenever I'm done and they're not in use. But since we are finished here, I can go ahead and snip the ones that I'm not going to be using for a while, just so they're not in the way, okay? All right. So just in this row, we have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have made 9 ends to weave in already, guys. So yeah, that's fun, right? All right, so now we are going to chain up our 3 because we are ready to move to row 3, the next row. So this is our even side. Remember, row 2 is our even side and our wrong side. So when we flip our work, we are presented with the right side, okay? And that's it. We just follow our pattern all the way through. I wanted to just demonstrate really quickly when we are on our opposite sides. You know how when we were finished working with the color, I told y'all to just bring it to the front and drop it That's very important because when we turn our work, we can just grab our yarn from behind. Okay, so let me demonstrate. So chain up 3. Remember that 3 counts as a double crochet, so we're going to work right into the next one. Here is a color change happening here, so we bring our yarn to the front and drop. Okay, that way when we are ready for the next color, which is in our pattern, it is the lace color, we can just reach behind us and finish out our double crochet. And since it's already in place, that bobbin, that's the spot for the bobbin. Okay, and we just work our pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we get into the end of this shade for the pattern. Okay. Okay, so in the pattern, we are to be shortening that color by 1. So that means that our next color is going to be worked into that final color's stitch. Okay, so we work for till we get to 24. Okay, so it should be 24 across here, and then we're done. We're done with this color. We're done with this color, so we just clip it away, and we get ready to pick up the next color, which is black, like so. And then we work until we have one left of the black. Okay, so we got to the final spot for the black. Remember, we're leaving 1 so we can add our next color here. Okay, so we just clip this away. We're done with that. And now we are adding a new bobbin, which is the white color. Okay, so this is just plain white, like a crisp white, and we just work this all the way to the end of these shades. So okay, here's another little tip that I can talk about in this spot. So back here we have all of these different color swatches here, which means it left a lot of like legwork back here, but there's only one color that we need to bring or carry, which is going to be the green. So our green is attached, still attached to the back, but even though we're going to need the green for a little bit, I'm still going to pick up the green and carry it. So this is what that looks like, or what I mean by that. So I'm just going to work until I get to the green bobbin. Okay, so now I'm at the green bobbin. I continue that double crochet. So now I'm at the green bobbin, so I just grab the green from behind and cross it over, because I'm going to be carrying that. Okay, so I just cross it over, and then when I go inside of my stitch, my hook will grab that as well. So I just go from behind and just grab it all, and now it's just going to be the top of a stitch like regular. Okay, so I just keep going Remember carrying that green along with me. Okay, so I just keep going, keep going. The pattern says to stop at the cafe color, so we just keep going till we get there. All right, and now we have made it there, so we just stop, and that green that we carried, we got it in the right spot now, so we just pick it up and finish out the double crochet, and we keep on trucking, y'all. And so this is going to carry us all the way back to our black stitches, our 2 black stitches. So the pattern, the ends is going to have a border with 2 black double crochet, okay? So no matter what we're doing in the pattern, just know that the ends are going to end with 2 black double crochet. If you are working and your pattern doesn't match up, you have miscounted somewhere. So take your time, remember your counts, use the tools that you need to succeed, and it'll work out for you guys. Okay, so we just keep on going till the end. Oops, getting a little tangled up here. Just because I'm not clipping them away when I'm done, guys. So I'm telling y'all what to do because you will run into a method like this. Okay. And then we just finish out our row with the black border. So find your black stitch. It's going to be a little hard because black is the worst color, in my opinion, to work with, but it's my favorite look. It's weird. And that's it. You chain your 3 and then clear your space and get ready to work. So here, so you see what I mean? Since this is our front side, we shouldn't have any ends. All of our waist should be in the back. But I left this out purposely to demonstrate leaving ends on both sides can mess up or make you not realize which side you're working on. And some people even mirrors they'll work, so they're working hard but don't remember which row they're on, so they're actually working their opposite sides on the wrong side. So I always try to leave my ends on the side that I picked, that's going to be my waist. So if you run into an issue like this, I stop what I'm doing, I take my yarn needle and I just poke this through the back side and just go ahead and weave it in, and we're done. Okay, so I left this purposely to demonstrate what I mean by having both sides keep your waist. It can be very confusing. Okay, so I just, like I said, I take my yarn needle and just poke it back through and weave it on the back side, and I'm done. Mistake is gone. Okay, so you just clean up, clip your bits out of the way, and you're ready to turn your work. Okay, and we are ready to work on row 4. But I will come back. I gave you pretty much the tips and techniques that we're going to be using to color change and make a design based on our color changes and our bobbins. Okay, and we will meet again at a different time to show the full pattern, and then I can show you how I construct a tote bag. Alright, now, okay, and I'm back. If you have been following along with the pattern, you should see that this is what it looks like when we are done with the color changes. So we have the pink, the cafe latte, the tea leaf, this white, black, and then we have a color called lace. So this is what the back of the tote bag is going to look like. Okay, and then here we went through the color changes down here at the bottom for a little pizzazz, a little razzle dazzle for the back. And If you follow my method again, this is what the back looks like with all of the different yarn ends. So yours might not look like this, just based on how much yarn you wrapped around your bobbins. So this is kind of what it looks like if I ran out of yarn on my bobbin. I just added more to it. So this isn't a huge deal. We could just go through and snip those, and then we'll weave in all of the longer pieces, and we'll be done with that. So I just wanted to pop a pill and give a update on what's going on. And like I said, with my gauge, it gives us a 12 by 12 inch square. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is going to be the front of our tote bag, and this is the back. Isn't the colors pretty? I'm very proud of that. Okay.